All right, let's talk about something that's on every Kiwi entrepreneur's mind. How on earth do you build a successful online store in New Zealand when you're up against these massive global giants? It feels impossible, right? Well, today we're going to crack the code. We're going to look at exactly how small Kiwi stores are not just surviving, but absolutely winning. Let's dive in.
So really, it all boils down to this one question, doesn't it? You've got this awesome idea, you're passionate, you're ready to go, but then you look at who you're up against, these huge international companies. It really does feel like a classic David versus Goliath story. So the question is, can a small Kiwi business actually win this fight? Is there even a chance?
Okay, first things first, let's get a sense of the scale here. The prize for winning is, well, it's massive. We are talking about an e-commerce market in New Zealand that's set to hit over $5 billion by 2030. That's billion with a B. So, yeah, there's a huge opportunity for the taking. But of course, that kind of money, it's going to attract some very, very big fish.
And speaking of big fish, here they are, the Goliaths. Just look at this list of the top 5 online stores in NZ. You've got your huge local retailers, and then you've got global behemoths like Apple and Shein. Let's be real for a second. Trying to compete with these guys on price, or the sheer number of products they offer, or how fast they can ship, it's a losing battle from the start. You just can't. So, what do? Simple. You have to play a completely different game.
And that different game, well, the secret to it is understanding this really interesting thing that's happening in the market right now. It's like the entire landscape is splitting right down the middle. And that split, it's creating this incredible opportunity for small, focused businesses. This is what we call the Great Market Bifurcation.
So, what does that actually mean? It means Kiwi shoppers are basically being pulled in two totally opposite directions. Think about it. On one side, you've got the shopper who's all about value, with a UE. They're hunting for the absolute lowest price, scrolling through places like Temu. But then, on the complete other side, you've got the shopper who cares about values, with a UES. These are the people who are actively looking to support local, they want sustainable options, and they're searching for businesses with a real, authentic story.
And you might think the values side would be winning, but check this out. The data here is pretty incredible. Even with all those cheap international options just a click away, a massive 71% of online spending is still happening with local New Zealand retailers. So that value shopper, they're not some small niche group, they are the mainstream. That desire to buy local is a seriously powerful force in our economy.
So what you end up with is something that strategists call a barbell market. You can picture it, right? You've got the big heavy weights on either end and not much in the middle. Success lives at those two extremes. You either win by being the biggest and the cheapest, that's one end of the barbell, or you win by being super specialized and driven by values, that's the other end. But that middle ground, where you're kind of cheap, but not the cheapest, and kind of unique, but not really, that is the absolute worst place to be. It's a total dead zone.
So the takeaway here is crystal clear. The most important strategic decision you can make is to pick a side. You cannot get stuck in the middle. You have to choose. Are you going to fight on price, or are you going to fight on values? The businesses we're about to look at, they made their choice, loud and clear. Okay, so enough with the theory. Let's see how this actually plays out in the real world. We're going to dive into 3 amazing Kiwi businesses that absolutely prove that picking the value side of that barbell is a recipe for success.
First up, let's talk about the community builder. And the absolute best example of this is the fashion brand Shine On. Seriously, what they've done is incredible. They didn't just go out and get a bunch of customers. Nope, they built a genuine movement. So how did they do it? Their secret weapon is a VIP Facebook group. And this isn't just some page where they post ads. It's a super active, really supportive community. And you know what that is? It's a competitive moat. Another company can come along and copy their dresses, sure, but there is no way they can copy that deep, authentic connection they have with their customers. That kind of loyalty, you just can't buy it, no matter how big your marketing budget is.
All right, next archetype, the expert curator. And for this, we're looking at a business called Love That Leaf. They sell supplies for indoor plants. And here's the key. Their power doesn't come from having the biggest selection or the lowest prices. It comes from the fact that they know more about indoor plants than anyone else.
And that expertise builds an incredible amount of trust. Just listen to what this customer says. The founder, Anna, isn't just some random person selling you stuff. She's a trusted advisor. And that model,
That person-to-person connection built on real, genuine knowledge, it creates a level of loyalty that is just off the charts. I mean, think about it. You can buy potting mix from a dozen different places, right? But you can only get Anna's expert advice from her shop. That's the difference.
And that brings us to our third and final archetype, the values champion. A perfect example here is Cali Woods, a brand that makes sustainable homewares. Their entire business from top to bottom is built on one clear mission: to help people reduce plastic waste.
Now, we live in a world where every company claims to be green, right? It's called greenwashing. So how does a brand like Cali Woods prove that they're the real deal? Well, they do it through verification. They went out and became a certified B Corporation. And what that is basically the super rigorous, independent stamp of approval that proves they meet the absolute highest standards for social and environmental performance. It's a game changer for building trust.
And this focus on proof, on verification, it's not just a nice to have. It taps directly into what customers want. Get this, a huge 75% of Kiwi shoppers say they want sustainability claims to be independently verified. So in this market, trust isn't something you can just claim. It has to be earned. And having proof, like a B Corp certification, is exactly how you earn it.
Okay, so we've covered the big idea, this whole barbell market thing, and we've seen 3 awesome businesses putting it into practice. So now, let's pull it all together. Let's boil it down into a simple, actionable blueprint that you can actually use.
All right, here we go, your 6-step blueprint. Number 1, define your niche with precision. This is the love that leaf play. Don't try to be everything to everyone. Go deep, not wide. Become the number 1 expert in one specific thing. 2, build on-brand authenticity. This is your superpower. Your story, your why, that's something a massive corporation can never ever copy. Lean into it. 3, embed your values into your operations. Don't just say you're sustainable or ethical. Live it. Prove it. This is the Cali Woods strategy. Get the certifications, show the receipts, and build that rock-solid trust. Number 4, obsess over the customer experience. This is where you create fans, not just customers. Personal notes, amazing service, making people feel special. That's how you win hearts. 5, consider a platform-first launch. Before you sink a ton of money into a custom website, why not test your idea on an existing marketplace? It's a great way to see what works without a huge risk. And finally, number 6, master omnichannel early. Think about how your online world can connect to the real world. Maybe it's a pop-up shop, maybe it's local events. Create a seamless experience wherever your customers find you.
So when you boil it all down, what's the secret? In this fight against the giants, the winning move is not to try and be a smaller, weaker version of them. It's to be something they can never, ever be. To be deeply niche, to be authentically connected to a community, and to be totally, obsessively focused on what you do best. So remember, the secret isn't to go wide, it's to go deep. Which leaves just one question. What will your niche be?